Today's episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10. But also, I am going to be playing some NBA2K23, so in between that ramble, we'll be playing some basketballs. Now, I take a product which is called Loaded, which is a premium brand of tincture. Because basically what it is, it's Delta 8 and Delta 10 mixed with ethyl alcohol, which is food grade ethyl alcohol, I think. That is actually a pretty good deal. And this is called Skywalker OG. I love this stuff. This stuff is so good. Basically, it's a derivative of the less. Basically, Delta 8's in the beginning, and then Delta 10 gives you that high that you want. But Delta 8 starts off the high, and it just kind of like gradually pushes you into that high, and then once the Delta 8, you get to it like it'll be for like 10 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes. You'll be gradually feeling like, okay, I'm starting to move into the high, and then 10 will go, whoop, and you'll start moving up the chain until it gets to the high point of Delta 8. Then 10 takes over, and it just keeps you at that high for about 7-8 hours. For me, it does. It seems like it seems like I'm more focused when I'm high. But I do also drink a lot of coffee I'll drink coffee and water when I'm high too. But that's just because the coffee works well with the Delta 10 and stuff. But Delta 8 and Delta 10 are hemp derivatives of Delta 9, and basically they're just like Delta 9. Anyway, they're constructed a little bit differently. Delta 8 has the THC bonded to the 8th carbon. Delta 10 has it to the 10th carbon, and Delta 9 is on the 9th carbon. That's all you got to know. It's just where the THC is placed in the actual chemical, the actual Delta 8, 9, or 10. So it has a carbon on the 8th, 9th, or 10th carbon. So the 8th, 9th, or 10th carbon. So carbon strand there. So it's like, okay. And you know why Delta 8, 9, and 10 have carbon in them? Because carbon burns. Carbon burns. And that's why when they're flowers, you can burn the flowers and they're smokable because they burn. But also you can make a liquid derivative out of hemp with Delta 8, 9, and 10. Well, Delta 8 and 10 actually. 9, I think, is just only in the flowers of the thing, or it's whatever, But it's good, and it works well with coffee, soda, tea. It said bubble tea, but we don't have a bubble tea place anywhere near here. And I'm not a big bubble tea fan to begin with, but I have tried it a few times. I just don't like the taste. It's just like too much stuff is in my drink. Because I'm not gonna get like one of those caramel lattes with soy milk and foam. Make sure the soy milk is fat free. Whatever those girls get. I want a caramel iced latte with foam and soy milk. Or almond milk. I'm like, woman, stop. But yeah, Delta 8's pretty good though. Delta 8 is amazing. Delta 10 is amazing too. When it's a hybrid, it's even more amazing because you got two of them. You got one that starts off the high, and then the next one that helps raise the level when you get to a certain point. So it's like one of those flow charts, one of those graphs. It's like it starts off and you're just like this. Okay, you're like, okay. Then all of a sudden you start to feel it get up. It gets to a certain point, and then the Delta 10 just takes over, and it just like this, and then the Delta 10 starts wearing off, and that's it. It's done. But Skywalker OG is one of the best. And loaded's one of my favorites, and I've been getting it for the past like year and a half now. And nobody knows how much I do with this stuff. It's like, what's that $32? What's that $32 at Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City? And I told Mom, this is what I told her. I said, that's where the headquarters for all the Vapor Mavens are in the area. What's Vapor Maven? You know where Mike and Zach's barbecue is? On the very end, on the right end of the building, as you pull in, there is a place called Vapor Maven, which is a company that sells vape products and tinctures. Mom knows I'm taking it now. She didn't know as long as time I was taking it. She kept asking what that $32 was. I said, I'm not going to tell you what the $32 is. It's my personal use. It's for me to feel better, and it's helping me stay off it's helping me not dip as much, but it's whatever. We're going to take it now. There it is. And I take about 7 of these. I had some last night too. So I finished off my other bottle last night. I'm taking a little bit more. You can tell that it works because it gives you that little, like your mouth's kind of a little bit numb. It's just an effect that, and I could tell when it's going to be a good batch or a good bottle if it's not, because the way that it tastes for me is if it tastes really weird at the beginning. Like I got one once, I could tell it was kind of clear at first. But this one's really good because this one right here is actually yellow in color, and it's clear, but it's like a clear yellow liquid. Oh man, it's so good. That's a really good flavor. It has like a cotton candy flavor to it. Tastes like really, really dull cotton candy flavored sucker. Oh man, too much air intake. But yeah, like I was off I was where I worked yesterday, or day before yesterday. I didn't work yesterday, and they tried to call me in again because somebody didn't show up and they needed help. Well, I get a day off, an actual day off that I took off. I didn't take off, that actually was granted. They tried to call me. They didn't leave a message to tell me why. I told them, next time you guys call me, leave me a message to let me know why you're needing me to come in, or if you're needing me to come in, or if it's something totally different. Okay, because I don't want to be left out in the cold not knowing why I was not supposed to, I was supposed to be there, or why you were calling me in so that I could kind of say, well, I was busy that day, so I can tell you that I was busy, because I was busy yesterday or Saturday. Because I had to go out of town Saturday for a friend. I went to a friend's birthday party in Cape. We went out for lunch. We went to Red Lobster, and then for dinner we went to Broussard's. Exactly what we did. We actually went to Broussard's for dinner. Broussard's is a Cajun restaurant in downtown Cape on the main street downtown. Right, it's like one or two. It's like one street. I think it's one street from the actual public parking area in front of Hudson's Fine Furniture, whatever it is. Because Hudson's is right there, and then there's the this next street up from that. If you go further over, not like that cuts because Main Street doesn't cut across. It goes right there in front of the it's Spanish Street, and it goes right in front of the BMW bike dealership, which is fucking cool. Hold on. Oh my god. The farts now. the dip really does. Tobacco really does work when you're taking your tincture. Well, because it helps it really drives up the high, I guess. Because I'll be having a dip in, spitting and dipping. I'll be spitting in my mud jug, and then all of a sudden I'll just feel like, whoa. I will say this though: do not take kratom. I would say if you want a good high. If you're not going anywhere for the next like 10 to 12 hours, you take kratom, and then take Delta 8, Delta 10. I don't advise you to abuse it. You take whatever you think. You take what you normally take with Delta 8, Delta 10. Don't super overdo it. But take it. God dang it. Hold on. I got to put this in because I'm going to drop it. You don't take it. I accidentally did this. I took it. I took my kratom before I got during the day because I was helping out with my buddy Mark with the card show, right? I had my own little table and everything next with Mark. I kind of watch his, because he had me there with him so I could watch his table when he goes out and makes some deals with Eric or Mike or Jimmy or anybody that we hang out with, you know. So he goes out, and I was sitting there with my Project Mitra, and I'm sitting there and I just throw it in, you know. I throw in about 12 of them. Because usually that's what gets me staying awake because it gives me energy and stuff. But then about 4 o'clock, 5:30, I get home. About 5 o'clock, I get home. Actually, no, it was almost 6 when I got home because we stopped. Actually, it was 7 or 8 when I got home because we stopped and ate Chinese food where it's over by Walmart in Sykeston. Anyway, I took my tincture. I took like 4 or 5 squirts of a full dropper worth of tincture, so it was 200 milligrams of tincture, and I was like, whoa. After about 20 minutes, I was playing my basketball game, and all of a sudden I just got that super, super high. It just hit. Like, whoa. And so I'm like, geez, this is nuts. And then I told Mark about it. So I took my, you know, when I took my kratom, he's like, yeah, because I saw you taking it when I came back around. I was like, yeah. Well, I took my tincture because I was off the next day. I took my tincture and got the biggest high ever. I was flying in the clouds. Make sure I don't get this. Oh, God. Oh, I got to play some Dynasty Warriors today, too. Oh, my God. Why did I got to take a crap? That gets me really bad now. The tobacco is nature's natural laxative. I will say that. I'm throwing a little bit more. And we'll finish this game, and then I'll go ahead and take my poopy. However, Matthew Santoro says it poopy. Poopy? Like poopy.
Well, the Bulls shooting only 38% from the floor. Not great. So for New Orleans right now, we've got Brandon Ingram, and it's Williamson in at the 5. You know, for most players, being a starter has value. But Grant, some elite teams have been elevated by great players who have accepted a reserve role.
And it's really special, B.A., when you have that. Players who are willing to sacrifice for the great.
Substitution on the court.
.103 left in the third quarter. Morris passes to Bridges. Back to Morris. Got a piece of it. Pass to Rogers. With nobody on him, he buries that jumper. 16 points for him.
Efficient performance from him. Not the case for everyone else on his team. This is who you want leading that play. A sure passer with great awareness.
There's 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Now Levine. Here's Morris. Deflected.
they've shown the power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
Has to Hunt. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window.
Like a matador. Olé! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
Oh, and a fast break for the Pelicans. Releases. And another basket for New Orleans.
He is single-handedly carrying this team right now thanks to his terrific scoring performance so far in this game.
With 1 on the clock. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And so it's New Orleans, and they're up an insane amount. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with... And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. They've got Alec Burks. Also Ty Jerome out there.
I already got my triple-double. I forgot. I got it in the second quarter.
And it's Teague in at the center position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
He has taken it upon himself to score the ball as much as possible for his team. He's not looking to pass it right now.
Pass to Burks. On the wing, Jones. Can't hit that one. Now New Orleans takes it the other way. Next up, the Knicks in New York. That'll be their second of 3 games total on this road trip. And again.
And that's 70.
He is unconscious.
You know, they're really being bullied right now defensively. 8 of the last 10 points have come from the inside.
Here's Burks. It's tipped. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Here's T. He got it again! Sensational!
What a game from him. 72 points.
And he's been simply sensational throughout this one. Pass to Burks. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
Personal foul.
And in this era...
Wait, that's not his first personal. What? There's no way. Hold on. That's his third. Okay, how many fouls does he have? That's his first foul. I thought he fouled before already. Guess not.
We see some stars asking out, saying we don't have enough to win. Smitty, that's not the old school approach, is it?
It's not, B.A., but what I would tell you now was totally different than the past. It's the length of contract. You have players now and teams have the option after 1, 2, or 3 years, so it definitely will be a lot of movement.
The Bulls making a switch here. Little's checked in, and we just had to see that mobile 1 drive one more time. Great stuff.
Yeah, taking the onus on himself to make something happen. Got it into the teeth of the defense and made them pay.
Burks goes in. Here's Wainwright. And again, Chicago, no good. For New Orleans, they've got all 4 shots to go in this final quarter. Down low. Here's T. And count that. 2 points and a chance for 1 more at the line.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. We love it.
This has been an impressive performance tonight. Even with a big lead, they've maintained their focus.
Back on draft night.
Who's number 11 I'm guarding right now? Yeah, sure.
2017, the Bulls trading away their star, Jimmy Butler.
And what a haul they got from Minnesota. Zach LaVine, the headliner, and he's turned out to be a franchise player. It's tough to win one of those type of deals, but Chicago got a stud.
Shot clock at 5. The Bulls need to get off a shot. Jerome. The Bulls with another miss. Here's New Orleans. They're on an 11-2 run. Pass to Davidson. To the middle. The 3, and another one.
3.
And he's been dominant so far in this one.
Shouldering the offense, really taking it to the opposition. Offensively, it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Here's Jerome, covered by Smith. Pass to Burks. Recently, we've seen a few super teams put together, but it hasn't always been an automatic recipe for success, Smitty.
Well, BA, a lot of times you see those super teams on paper. It's all about execution on the floor. And the biggest factor that sometimes hampers super teams is health, and that could be a big factor in upsetting your plans.
It's been an outstanding performance for them in just about every area.
Especially considering it's on the road in front of a tough crowd. They've been able to block out the distractions.
Pass to T, stolen by Valanciunas. Here's T. Another one goes. Incredible. And there it is. 82 points.
This is a game that he will never forget. I know I won't.
Chicago has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Jerome, covered by Smith. Outside Burks. Will it go? Tries again. And he takes it up and lays it in.
Have to take care of the defensive boards better than that.
Reason why: lack of focus, lack of communication, which led to second chance points.
Out of bounds. Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. Here's Smith. Count the basket.
They've now had assists on each of their last 3 buckets.
Here's Jerome. Pass to Burks. It's Little on the wing. Back to Burks. And there's the drive. Smitty, the challenges of being a small market team are very real for the Pelicans.
You know, it's tough to attract big name talent.
Substitution on the court.
Here's T. He's guarded by Bridges. Davidson's shot is good.
Down the stretch, this is when they need him the most, and he is delivering.
Inside, here's Rogers. And he slams it in one-handed.
I mean, that's a nice find by Murray. He has the height to see the floor, and his awareness continues to grow.
Pass to Hunt. Here's T. He's guarded by Bridges. From deep. T, no good. Chicago has gone just 1 of 6 from downtown in this final quarter. Murray finds Levine. Here he goes. And no good. Tatum with some nice D.
He just can't find a consistent way to score, and this team could certainly use it.
And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for New Orleans.
It's easy for me. Look at their defensive effort all game. The block total shows their commitment to contesting shots.
They're also finding a lot of points tonight off of transition play, running the floor and using the fast break to beat the defense.
So Chicago ends up going with a new group. Here's Burks. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
They're finding a rhythm from the line as they try to cut into this deficit.
Alec Burks.
So he gets them both. Smith with it. Over to the wing. Takes a 3. Connects again from distance. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. To the paint. And stolen by Harrell. Over to the left wing. Here's T. And they get it back. Goes back up. Good! That's another bucket!
He just notched 92 points on that one.
Simply surreal. I'm not sure even he can believe what's going on. Here's Jerome. Covered by Smith. Jones from outside. Hits a three-pointer. Jones has got his first 3 points of the game.
Woo, he got a clean look, and he makes the defense pay for disrespecting him.
Pass to Hunt. Tatum with it. Let's go with a three. Nails it from three.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
This was obviously a focal point coming out of the break. Look smart when the shots are going down.
Now here's Burks. Defense right on him. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot two.
He's a regular at the free throw line. Burks knows how to put the onus on the officials.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth. Pass to Hunt. Smith outside. Back to Tatum. Got it. Good job in the low post.
Well, the scoreboard tells you everything you need to know about this one. A great showing here for the Pelicans.
They had more assists and shot the ball more efficiently. Those things tend to go hand in hand.
And that's so true. Without a doubt, their ball movement was essential to winning this game.
And they're getting ready to notch their 33rd win of the year.
And against a non-conference opponent, you really want to win the first one. They'll go into the next one knowing how to beat this team for sure.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for T.
An all-around dominant performance. Only certain guys can do this. Complete control, 3 phases of the game. Congrats, a triple-double.
Here's Wainwright. And again, no good by Chicago. New Orleans dictating the flow. Pass to Tatum. Here's T. Knocked loose. There's 39 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
Leaving nothing to chance. This run shutting the door on them.
Not messing around at all. They were focused, relentless, and they got the job done.
Pass to Jones. To the inside. Up and in on the layup.
Great player movement, great ball movement. That's fun to watch.
How about the unselfishness of this team?
Yeah, the willingness to make the next pass has this defense scrambling.
T. And the Pelicans hit again from deep.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
And guess what? It's going to be a fun flight home. Total team effort. Big win on the road.
And so it's the Pelicans taking care of business in this one. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Steve Smith, and Allie LaForce, this is
One of my favorite things about my career in 2K23 is that your character will come across some big names giving you some good advice.
From Tracy McGrady to Josh Giddey, there's one person who got to act with all of those NBA stars.
So now, let's meet the actor behind your My Player, Jamad Mays.
Ooh, so this gonna be a dog fight right now.
Oh, Zion, what up, man? Just working on my game. What's up with you?
Today, I am very excited because I am here with a great celebrity. And that, my friends, is Jamad. But you might know him better as MP in NBA2K23. Welcome to 2K TV.
Thank you for having me, man. What's up, bro? What up?
Good to see you again.
Always,
you
always.
know, besides shooting the scene with me, what was your best experience here at MoCap and shooting with all these great athletes?
I would say working with J. Cole. That was definitely one of the highlights for me. He's someone that I've grown up listening to. I remember sideline story and just me going through my ebbs and flows and trying to, just trying to get off the sideline in my world. Trying to figure out acting and things like that. So his work kind of helped motivate me in my world.
And of course, as fans know, going through this year's My Career, you will come across a ton of NBA athletes. So what was some of your favorite moments from working with all these players?
Ooh, T-Mac for sure. T-Mac, really, really cool guy. Super, super cool. His energy out the roof, super cool, funny. Devin Booker was really cool too. He's really intellectual, super focused. It was
And we've got a game that's sure to be a crowd pleaser, Greg. Two high-octane offenses going head-to-head.
And it's not just run and gun. Each team has a very well-refined attack. And this kind of matchup comes down to which side can maintain their energy through all four quarters.
And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, we've got Brandon Ingram. Zion Williamson is out there with T, and it's Nicholson in at the 1 spot. Here's Grimes. Matthews scanning the floor.
Pelicans foul. Zion Williamson.
Well, as somebody who grew up in New York and New Jersey, I was a Knicks fan, right? They have such a great history. Think back to the championship team of the 70s. Walt Clyde Frazier, then the Patrick Ewing era, Bernard King. They have had so many Hall of Famers. Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Count it.
And what touch from the big man. I like watching Williamson get interior positioning and attack with purpose.
And that was the Mobile One drive. Well worth a second look.
Nice take. Staying aggressive with this game, still very much up in the air.
And Doris, growing up around New York, what makes this Knicks franchise so special?
Well, I think certainly the energy of the city, the passion for the game of basketball, playing in the Mecca, how fired up opponents are to play in Midtown Manhattan. The Knicks are a team that everyone follows.
Here's Grimes. Zion Williamson making his last shot. Barrett, no good. The Pelicans have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. Knocked loose. Ingram passes to Davidson. Shoots the 3. A three-pointer is right on target.
And early on, they look great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Now here's Matthews. Great numbers on a nightly basis as he averages over 24 points a game. Jamison, and it's blocked. Rebound by Jamison.
That was their first miss of the game. 4 for 5 right now. What a good start.
Can't do this against Ingram. He's good at seeking out contact and finding ways to get to the line.
Pelicans shooting their first free throws of the game right now. Both free throws good for Ingram. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. And Matthews kicks to Robinson. Barrett the pass to Matthews. Barrett against Ingram. Here's Jamison. That one goes in.
This is the court awareness that gives you great hope for R.J. Barrett. He's a scorer, but if he can complement that with passing, look out, folks.
Here's Davidson. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Back to Matthews. Wants to get it to Robinson, and does.
Guys, he's such a big target. On the alley-oop, throw it up. Mr. Robinson, the only one in the building who can catch it and finish.
Ingram passes to Davidson. And another 3 for New Orleans.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart.